Very good morning, class 11. So I really hope you are doing well. So today we are starting a new chapter from the book Hornbill itself. The name of the title is The Alien Planet, The Green Movement's Role, written by Nani Palkiwala. Now here from the title itself you are getting to know we are talking about our planet, that is Earth, and its alien. That is, our planet Earth is ill, not well. The green movement role, basically the role of that green movement, how the green or afforestation, these kinds of things can help us to come out from it. Every single time we are talking about the global warming, and then on the other hand we say that we need to plant more and more trees. We should be there the number of greenery actually, so that we can survive more happily, so that our air can be more fresher. Oxygen which we are inhaling should be the pure one, right? So in the same manner, this chapter is written by Nani Palkiwala. He was born in the year 1920 and died in 2002. He was jurist plus economist. Now this is one piece of article which was published. So it's written here. The following article was written by Nani Palkiwala and published in the Indian Express on 24 November 1994. So means 94, this is 2020. Means at that time only it was discovered that our earth is suffering. Our earth, our planet was ill. And the same thing is still going on. So you can imagine how the situation has deteriorated. It has not become well, it has not improvised, it comes to the more worse position actually. So we need to understand the issues that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance, right? Still this article is relevant in today's time. Imagine if the situation was 5% at that time, how it is right now. If the situation was 1%, how it's like 94 it was published, means earlier only, before that only the thing started, and now 2020 how it has become worst, right? In the year 1994 you were even not born actually at that time. So imagine what we are talking about, how we need to improve the things for our betterment, for our future generation. So I'm reading for you. One cannot recall any moment in world history which was gripped the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the green movement, which started nearly 25 years ago. So means it's written in 1994, 25 years ago, green movement was started. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Since then, the movement has not looked back. So in the year 1972, means the situation started before only then. That is where something green movement came into that. And there was why people thought about green movement. Even New Zealand also. Because the things were changing. The things changed at that time, 1972. We have shifted, one hopes, irreversibly from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view. So now our view has changed. We have started thinking in different aspects also. It is a shift in human perceptions as revolutionary as introduced by the Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century. So there is a description about it, Copernicus. In 16th century, he taught to the mankind that Earth and other planets revolved around the sun. Revolve around the sun. For the first time in human history, there is a growing worldwide consciousness that Earth itself is a living organism. So at that time, the consciousness was there among the people that Earth is a living organism, an enormous being of which we are parts. It has its own metabolic needs and vital processes which needs to be respected and preserved. As we talk about ecological balance, that how we humans are living, but we need other things also to be balanced to live properly. That is why we are always talking about global warming. That is why we are always talking about the huge climatic changes, because we humans are doing something wrong with it. And for living peacefully, all the things matter actually. The Earth's vital signs reveal, listen, a patient in declining health. So it reveals that Earth is a patient and its health is declining actually. Yeah. We have begun to realize our ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy to the future generation. So we realized, we humans started realizing our responsibilities, our obligation, that we are driving this planet. We are the ones who are holding this earth, and we are the ones who are going to give this earth to our future generation. So we need to give it in a proper condition. The concept of sustainable development was popularized in 1987. So this term came in the year 1987. Everyone knows about sustainable development, that we are using our resources, present resources, in that manner that for the future generation also we can keep it safe. So I written here, development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. That is, without stripping the natural world of resources future generation would be. So we should not compromise. We should fulfill the needs of the present without compromising for the future generation. If you remember, you might have seen one advertisement also, father and son, they were in the car. Basically they are in the car and they are at the red light. So father car was still on. So son said, what son said to his father? He said that, as you all are wasting the fuel, one day I guess I need to open the cycle repairing shop, because fuel would not be there, because we are wasting our resources. We are not keeping it for ourselves as well as for the future generation. So we need to show our wisdom. So in the zoo, now this is very important, at Lusaka, Zambia. Now there is a zoo, in a zoo we are having cages and animals are there. There is a cage where the notice reads the world's most dangerous animals. So in that zoo, there is one cage in Lusaka, Zambia. It's written world's most dangerous animal. Inside the cage, there is no animal, but a mirror was there. So basically, in a mirror, we are seeing our own reflection. So basically, it shows that we humans are the most dangerous animal of this planet, because we are having the senses and still we are destroying our planet Earth. Thanks to the efforts of a number of agencies in different countries, a new awareness has dawned upon the most dangerous animal in the world. He has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. So it's survey mentioned about it, that it's about the partnership. Everyone has to work towards our planet Earth, not even a single entity. Scientists have catalogued 1.4 million living species, which with mankind shares the earth. So it mentioned that only mankind is not there, around 1.4 million living species are also there. Estimates widely, and there are still uncatalogued ones also, 1.4 on written record. Otherwise, if we would see, there are 3 to 100 million other living species which are not known to us at all. So we need to have the ecological balance. One of the early international commissions which dealt inter alia with the question of ecology and environment was the Brundtland Commission. So there was a Brundtland Commission actually. It talks about, written by Mr. L.K. Jha. It raised a question, are we to leave our successors, successor means the ones who, the future generations who will follow us, a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and ailing environment? So in that report he raised a question, are we the ones who are going to give this declining earth or the worst condition of earth to our successors, because we are scorched planet, ailing environment, because we are not doing justice with our earth. Then it says, Mr. Lester R. Brown in his book The Global Economic Prospect, he talks about 4 biological systems: fisheries, forests, grassland, croplands. Fisheries, forests, grasslands, croplands, and they are found the global economic system. Now, but what we come to know here, in addition to supplying our food, these 4 systems provide virtually all the raw material for industry except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. Now, as we are disturbing the earth, what we are doing to all these 4 things, we are doing what? Fisheries are collapsing, forests are disappearing, grasslands are converted into barren wasteland, croplands are deteriorating. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, overfishing is common every day. So we are disturbing these four biological things: fisheries, crop plants, forests, as well as grasslands. Then it says, very important here, local forests are being decimated in order to procure firewood for cooking. So the local forests are there, they are decimated, means people are destroying it. They are cutting the trees and things because of their firewood for cooking. In some places, and this is very important, firewood has become so expensive. Firewood becomes so expensive that this line, what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. So saying the food which we are preparing, that is not expensive, but the firewood which we are using under the pot, that is more expensive in today's time because we are disturbed. Since the tropical forest is, in the words of Dr. Mayers, the powerhouse of evaluation, several species of life face extinction as a result of its destruction. So it's mentioned by Dr. Mayers that number of species, they are facing the extinction because we humans, as it's written, the most dangerous animal, are doing injustice with the other species. So rest we will continue in the next class. I guess it's clear to everyone till now. Thank you and send the work time. God bless.